Just a quick plug before the video starts. Go to durianrider.com if you're interested in $40 jerseys. There's a couple left. They did sell out. I apologise for that. We've got more coming down the track. My 2 ebooks, Carb the Fuck Up and Durian Rider's Lean Body Bible. The best ebooks if you want to get seriously lean and live a seriously simple, basic digital nomad lifestyle and save a shit ton of money, earn great money, meet cool people, inspire people, and getting the best results you've ever could imagine in your life. Go to durianrider.com, get my latest ebooks, game changers, guaranteed. Give me some pussy, Natasha. Here we go. We're dripping in pussy in this video. How to not be a pussy on the climb. I'm going to show you how to climb with dominance and be the alpha cat on any mountain goat climb. Hey, little face wants to claw my eyeballs out. Those little stray cats. The little stray cats. Okay, so the video is going to start in a second. I'm going to give you a bit of context here. About to jump on the back of a group ride in Norton Summit. This is Adelaide, and it's Adelaide, Australia. January, you always get a lot of bunches coming to Adelaide for the Tour Down Under. If you haven't been to Adelaide, the Tour Down Under is a fantastic time to be here. The Tour Down Under in Adelaide in January is fantastic. Here we're riding on Natasha. We're going up to North Adelaide, and so I was out for a ride, and up Norton Summit, a bunch of guys rolls past. I'm like, all right, let's jump on. And it's always good because it's always a race. Like you don't get a bunch of guys go up Norton Summit and not have some sort of race. It always is a race. Even if it's not a race, it's a race. Even when they say it's just a training ride, it's a race. It's a race to the death. It's always a race to the death. Unless they get second place, and it's like, oh, I was just doing the tempo, mate. But it is all good fun. It's all good banter. And this is the reality of cycling. It's a beautiful sport and very, very safe up the hills. I don't really do much stuff on the flat. Fast bunch rides, going to be a bit sketchy or racing. But uphill bunch rides, very good fun. Anyway, so here's the bunch. Here's the bunch, and we're just cruising up. One person said g'day, and the rest, on the left-hand side, just totally ignored, which is common in cycling, especially the Instagram hipster sort of crew. No gloves. It's like the jersey done up all the way to the neck. That's a sign, isn't it? It's like a POC helmet or a synth helmet, a $400 helmet, jersey zipped up all the way. It's the middle of summer. No gloves, $300 jersey. It's almost like $1,000 kit. Helmet, sunglasses, Nick's jersey, $1,000. Generally riding a brand name bike with gum wall tires, and these days disc brake bike. Disc brake's very, very popular trend right now. The noobs. So they've been generally riding for 1-2 years. Maybe raced in B grade or C grade, maybe in a couple of A grade crits, and thinking they are the top dog. And that's just a general stereotype. I'm not saying that indicates guys in this bunch. This is just a general roadie stereotype. A lot of people say, why are roadies such wankers? I would say that is true in a lot of situations, but not in every. But generally I find the Instagram, no glove, jersey zipped up all the way, gum wall tire sort of person, sock height perfect, always wearing brand new jersey, white socks, white shoes, etc. generally indicates a high level of pretentiousness. There is exceptions, but it is the general strong rule. And that comes from me doing my first road race ever in 1997. I started racing crits. So that's just my formulation there, my opinion, my experience-based opinion. And anyway, so we are at the bunch here, and this basically, how can you benefit from this video? What's the win for you watching this video? I'm going to show you exactly how to pick who is the fastest in any bunch. And I'll show you how to position yourself in a bunch. So this is about 5.6k climb. It's not steep, it's a very fast climb. So it's with climbs that are very fast, you want to be at the front, basically. You want to be second or third wheel, ideally. Because if you're at the back here like me, you might get a draft, but also you get the rubber band effect. So if someone drops the wheel, then you have to go around them. All right, so you want to be second or third. Probably the best place to be would be third wheel on the start of a climb like this. So you want to move up. So already at the start, I'm at a disadvantage because I'm at the back. And so every time a rider gets dropped, that gap opens up and I have to go around there. So that's not good. That's bad for performance. Unless you're the strongest guy in the bunch, it doesn't matter. But if you're, let's say that all these guys are the same level as me, then I would definitely be third wheel, second wheel to get that draft. But actually, second and third wheel is going to be the best, assuming that the second wheel rider is as strong as you as well. So generally, third wheel draft is better if the person's not going to drop the wheel. So anyway, we already see people, there's gaps already forming here. You can already see the gaps. There's big gaps. There's guys on, who have maybe a bit dehydrated, they're a bit undercarbed, they they're not as fit as they look like they are. That's totally fine. That's it is what it is. Your guys with seat heights are probably a little bit too high, and so you know that once the power goes up or sustained, they're going to get dropped pretty quick. I would say the guy here on that in the full blue with green sleeves on the left there, I'd say his seat height's probably a bit too high. You can sort of see he's rocking a fair bit, and we're not even doing big watts. We did this climb about 3 minutes slower than my PR, and so, but it was still good pace. It was definitely good. But you see a lot of Chris King hubs here. You see a lot of bling bling, and that's generally when you know that persons aren't really that fast. That there's more show than go, and that's fine because cycling is it's a beautiful fashion sport, and I love the fashionista side as well. Even if I do look like a street bum on a bike, I look like a heroin addict who stole a bike. So that's all good. So anyway, so you can see now I'm doing a big mistake here. Is I've got a big gap in front of me. All right, so I'm getting all this turbulence from the wind in front of me. So I should close that gap. Like we're closing now. We're closing that gap. All right, there we go. I should be a bit closer to the right in front, but I'm just trying to get a GoPro viewpoint. You want to be really close. You want to be like, really, really close. You also don't want to overlap the wheel. All right, so it means overlapping means if they turn left or right all of a sudden, let's say the squirrel runs out, like happened in one of those rides you saw me on, a squirrel runs out, if they dodge it, swerve, your front wheel doesn't get taken out. So you want to be close, but not overlapping the wheel. All right? And also you don't want to be so close if they get out of the saddle that their back wheel kicks back and takes out your front wheel. So I would say at least 50 centimeters to a meter, but also depending on who you're riding with. If I'm riding with the pros, I can sit closer because they just know how to get out of the saddle and they're just more stable. But if I'm riding with people I don't know, then you always want to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them some room. So we can see here the pace is starting to hook up a little bit, and you can straight away spot who's the strongest of Norton Summit of any bunch and that's the person's going to be first wheel. They're going to be leading their buddies into the climb. That's just how it goes. The guy who's the strongest is going to be at the front 99% of the time. He's going to be at the front up Norton Summit. That's just the general. And we can see that guy up there, up ahead, white socks, good cadence, and he's half wheeling his buddy, and because he's half wheeling, that means everyone else in the bunch starts to half wheel as well because the pace is mismatched, and that's just the nature of the game. So I observed that straight away. I observed that in the first 10 seconds. I was like, hey, this guy's the strongest. Eventually, it will be a battle of just me and him, and I forecasted that, and I was actually 100% my prediction there as well. So again, to spot the fastest rider, who'll be the first rider? 99% of the time. Well, let's say 95% of the time. In a bunch ride with mates, it'll be that. In a bike race, you don't know who, because someone might be just have their teammates up there or whatever, or they might be sitting on until the last lap and then they're going to go. But in this situation, where it's just king of the mountain, battle for the death of Norton Summit, then you can see the guy on the left hand, he's dropping wheel. There's a big gap there, so he's gone. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm sitting last wheel. So every time a rider drops, and he's dropped permanently, I go around them. So that's sort of bunch etiquette as well. These guys don't know the roads that well, so I'm just sort of sitting on the back here and just observing, and you're basically getting some footage because it'd be pretty boring if I was at the front, wouldn't it? But on a climb like this, so you see what happened then. There's a big gap, and they have to go around that gap. So then I use more watts. So the person who's at the very front or second wheel, or especially second wheel, is they don't have that acceleration. They don't have the gap. There's no gaps for them to close. It's just all they have to do is just hold the wheel. But when I'm holding the wheel, a gap opens up when that person drops the wheel. If that makes sense. So you want to be checking the camera's working. There we go. So you want to be up there. You want to be up there. So we'll just pass that first hairpin of Norton Summit. That's generally where the pace starts to. You start to sort of see where your fitness is. If you've gone by then you need to do some work, or the paces are quite hot. And so this is an interesting one here. So again, this is I've done Norton Summit. I don't know how many times. Is that thousands of times? I don't know. It's a lot. I know it very, very well. That's why when Phil Guymon came up here in 11 minutes 14, I was like, that's definitely, in my opinion, not natural. Especially those watts, and especially on the day it was quite windy, slight headwind. I wouldn't say, when I say quite windy, it was quite windy in context to do an 11:14. So it's about 455 watts is the giveaway. The time's not so much a giveaway. It's conditions and drafting and stuff like that, but the watts the watts indicates doping. So everybody in this pack here, 100%, I'd say they're clean, because no one in this bunch did suspicious watts at all. This is all very, very weekend warrior, racist style wattages. There's no one doping in here. There's no fake natty cookie mans in this bunch. These guys are just passionate, cyclists who love the fashion and love the banter and just love going out there and having a ride with their mates and talking a bit of shit. And this is what we love about cycling. It's fantastic like that. So here we go. This is the guy on the front there, the front left. He's the captain. He's the patron of this bunch. And you see he's half wheeling his buddy. What does half wheeling mean? Half wheeling means you're half a wheel in front of the guy next to you. And if you ride with any noob, they generally do this all the time. They're just trying to keep up, or they're just trying to set the pace. And if you ride with any pro, you notice they don't half wheel. They just sort of ride at your pace. But this guy here, he's constantly pushing the watts, trying to half wheel his buddies, make them suffer. And you can see he's always half a wheel, half a bite into the head, And so the guy in the black there on the right, you can tell he's on the limit. He's just like wobbling all over his bike. His cadence is good, but he's really struggling there. He's going to get dropped soon enough. So can you see that half distance, the half wheel? So there you go. And that's not because the guy's got a longer top tube. That's because he's trying to put the hurt in his buddy. And so that's just how it is, half wheeling. So there's two types of half wheeling. There's half wheeling to hurt someone and put the hurt in their legs, and there's half wheeling because you're a total noob and you don't know how to ride next to someone at their pace. And so what that does is this creates like a cascade effect down the back. You sort of see, because there's a gap up the front, then all these other people start to half wheel as well, just to get a wheel. And the further back you are, the more that is exaggerated, the effect, which is, That's why you see in the pro riders, there's no half wheeling going on. It's very even paced and it's matched. So the half wheeling is still going on, and there's probably nothing worse than being half wheeled up a fast climb or fast bit of road, and and because the pace keeps going up and up and up, it's just a seesaw of wattages, up and down, up and down, up and down, but mostly going up, and the fatigue just goes up. These guys on a Ritter frame. Ritter's an interesting bike. It almost reminds me of Nove in that they were buying frames from China cheap and just repainting them and flipping them. And they got called out for that because people were like, hey, why would I buy a $2,000 bike from Alibaba? Why would I pay $2,000 for it when I can get it for $600-700 direct? So Ritter got sort of exposed for that, if you could call it exposed, and that damaged their brand forever. That people felt a bit ripped off. So now what they do different is they buy the molds. Same manufacturers, they just buy the molds. So but for me it's the same deal. It's all good. But yeah, nice paint jobs. But that's the Ritter story. Don't give the impression that you're ripping people off. Otherwise people won't be impressed when they find out. Especially in 2019 when it's all about social media and word of mouth, etc. Simple as that. That's why the bikes I get, I sell them for minor margins and provide incredible value. Alright, so we'll come to the last little bit of Norton Summit, and the half wheeling is still going on. It's a little bit, here we go. See that half wheeling on the corner, a bit of acceleration there. So I know that this guy in the white socks up the front, and it's a bit of a uniform, isn't it? Basically, everyone, this guy would be the alpha in the bunch. Everyone's copied him. If he wears white socks, the other guys wear white socks. If he uses gum walls, the other guys go gum walls. If he rides no gloves, they ride no gloves. They copy what he does. So every pack of males and females has an alpha. So you want to distinguish who is the alpha in the bunch. And on Norton Summit, it's generally easy to find who the alpha is in any bunch because he'll be at the front, dictating the pace, setting the trend. So you can see here the white socks. Well, even white shoes as well. He's set the white shoe trend, and the other guys are following. So he's the alpha to beat. So I've singled him out. I've singled him out on Norton Summit, and I'm like, this is the guy. For me to have outer status in the group, you have to take out the alpha. He's the resident alpha of the bunch. So we're going a bit deeper down the rabbit hole than you thought you were going to get on this video. And again, this is all banter and fun and social. What's the word? Social studies. This is all good in the hood. So we're about to light things up. So again, now you can see the half wheeling even more evident. That the alpha at the front. Look at that half wheeling. Oh, now here we go. Now it's really the guy's really struggling. Now the alpha at the front's like, okay, now it's time for me to really you line it up even more. And so the guy here on the right, he's dropped the wheel totally, can't match it, and he's going to go backwards pretty soon. So you can sort of see the guy in front of me, the white sock. They've got white socks and white shoes. He's going. What's just going on here? What was that hand gesture? Hand gesture. I'm not sure what the hand gesture was for, but probably not a good idea when you're. It's not a good idea to take your hands off the bars when you're at your limit, because it's just going to make you, get pushed over the edge a little bit aerobically. Every little bit, like even if you look around, if you talk, if you mutter a word or something like that, that can just affect your breathing rate. So here we go. Now with this guy in front of me, he's struggling to hold the wheel, so the other guy takes it up. So we can, like I said, you can pick the alpha very, very easy. Very, very easy. And often just looking at them, you can't pick them because they're all wearing the same clothing, they're all wearing no gloves, they wear white socks, white shoes. You can't really tell who's the alpha just by looking. You have to see who is on the climb or in the sprint. And we can see here that we're coming up to the last few minutes of Norton. So we're picking up the pace a bit. We're passing other riders, and this guy passing, he had about a 5-minute head start. So he's looking pretty fit as well. He's on an expensive, lightweight carbon bike. Looks like a Cervelo. So he's sort of picking up the pace now. He doesn't like being passed like that, but he isn't going to hold on the wheel because we're going pretty reasonable pace here. And this is the last sort of bit to Norton Summit starts to flatten off. So now I'm in a better position because I'm fourth wheel, but still I know this guy in front of me is about to drop. And so when he drops, then I'm going to have to close the gap. So I really should be, by now, I should be on the alpha's wheel. If this was a race situation, like a proper race, I would have been not at the back. I would have been third wheel this whole climb. Third wheel, second wheel. Or maybe even first wheel, setting the pace as well. But now this is a bad spot to be in because, again, I'm going to have to go around. So every time someone gets dropped, I have to go around. So if you have to go around someone, you lose valuable watts. Right? Use valuable watts. So especially because what happens is they generally blow up. There's a gap. Look at the gap now. See that gap? Right? So this is, I'm sitting here just to show people how not to ride in a bunch by me. I'm the worst rider in this group in terms of tactics right now because I'm, here we go. Now the acceleration. Look at that. So the alpha's accelerating. He's out the saddle. He's going for the sprint. And I've just jumped on his wheel straight away because the line's just around the corner. He knows where the line is. So the finish line's in a few meters. So this is where I should have been at the start of the climb all the way up. So he's totally gassed. He's got his head down. He's looking at his shoes. He's going for that last sprint. And it's like, okay, it's time for me to be the new alpha of the pack. I'm wearing no socks. I've got a shitty worn out jersey on. And I'm riding a bamboo bike. And I'm just going to punch it now to the top. So there we go. That is how it's done and dusted. Bunch riding, skills. If you're at the back, you have a disadvantage in the climb. Get to the front as soon as possible. Ideally, get to the front before the climb starts. If you're at the back, you're losing wheels, you're getting gapped, you're getting potentially dropped. So if you're the strongest rider of the bunch, you can be at the back. Otherwise, be second wheel, first wheel, second wheel, third wheel. That's the best place to be. Otherwise, you're at a big disadvantage. Thanks for watching. Got any comments, criticisms? Let me know down below. See you out on the road.